What's up, you guys? Brandon Kibler here with Traveler's Kitchen and Spirits. First YouTube video, hopefully one of many more. As a spirits connoisseur and former culinary professional turned foodie, and as a person that follows many YouTube channels, I watch way too much YouTube channels and many Instagram pages, I've come to the conclusion, just as many of those people probably have, that I can't write in a journal. I personally, let me get a little information on myself. I personally would love the ability to sip on a bottle of tequila, bottle of bourbon, bottle of wine, and sit there and write my notes. I would love that ability. I would love to be able to go to a restaurant, sit and take some notes. But I've come to the conclusion that I am not that person. I see old timers in the gym, some 70-year-old dude writing in his journal, and he tells you he's been taking journal notes since he was 18 years old, and he's got a stack of journals. I'm incredibly jealous of that. So much. I wish I could do that. I wish that I could be the person sitting there writing my notes and I can have a huge collection. I wish that could be me. But I've come to the realization, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not that person. So, what I'm going to be doing, just as many other people in the YouTube world and Instagram world, I'm going to start recording and sipping a bottle of whiskey, sipping a bottle of bourbon, whether it's eating food or drinking bourbon. This is me and you. Could be with my friends, could be with my girlfriend, could be with my family, whatever it may be. If we pull out the phone and start recording, it's just going to be kind of going over how you're feeling. What do you think about it? What are we eating? How does it make you feel? What's the experience? That is the part that I love, and I love being able to talk about it. I wish I could do the journal, but I love being able to talk about it. I love being able to do it with other people. And we are now at this point where sometimes I want to sit down and journal, but I can't because I can't do it. And I wish I could. So we're going to be doing this. So, Traveler's Kitchen and Spirits. The first video, I felt it was fitting, and ironically this came out 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk about Traveler's Whiskey, which is a collaboration between Chris Stapleton and Harlan Wheatley, the master distiller of Buffalo Trace. Now, hopefully I don't get sued for this, but I'm going to unofficially sponsor myself officially by Traveler's Whiskey. Traveler's Kitchen and Spirits, again, unofficially sponsored by Traveler's Whiskey. Let's give it a go. Let's actually read the back first. The bottle, actually, before we read the back, the bottle itself is very elegant, very classy. I honestly, if I've never met Chris Stapleton, would love to someday, but this bottle fits him. When you see him perform, when you see in any videos or wherever you may see him, he seems very much as a, this is who I am, I'm not trying to impress you. He comes across very much as that, and this bottle kind of does the same thing. Very simple label up front. The back, I'll try to post a picture of it, but the back actually has what looks like a older map of Lexington, Kentucky, which I believe is where he's from. So let's pay respect to the back really quick because the details put on this. The salesmanship is A1. Traveler's Whiskey. Good whiskey is like a good song. It requires no explanation. One taste should tell you everything you need to know. No one has to tell you how to feel about it. You simply settle in and enjoy. For the first of its kind collaboration from Buffalo Trace Distillery, Travelers brings together the collective artistry of Chris Stapleton and master distiller Harlan Wheatley. Blend number 40 is the carefully curated result of countless hours of testing and tasting. Sounds like a fun time. Its completely unique combination of whiskeys from award-winning distilleries is exactly what you'd expect. A premium whiskey that speaks for itself. Now, not to be confused with this, again, it's a whiskey, not a bourbon. So, for anybody that gets a little confused on that, bourbon. This is a whiskey. Blend number 40. So, while I'm pouring it, from what I was told, there were 50 blends that they curated, and they ended up on blend 40. Now, where these blends came from, Buffalo Trace obviously will never tell us. Can we assume? Can we assume that there's a little bit of mash bill number 1 in there? Maybe. Could we assume that there's a little Eagle Rare E.H. Taylor in there? Maybe. Maybe there's some Corazon Buffalo Trace aged Reposados. Too far? Maybe. All right. Anyways, 50 options. They landed up on number 40. Now, let's get straight to it. Not too oily. 90 proof for, I don't think I said that, but yeah, 90 proof. Wow. That nose, this is not my first bottle. I hate to break it to you. The nose, just like the first time I had it, now, the nose is beautiful. One of my buddies makes fun of me whenever I'm tasting stuff. I like to, whatever the first nose, whatever the first scent, aroma that comes off, I always say it's a bomb. This on the nose is a cherry bomb to me. But not like maraschino cherries. I'm having a brain fart right now. The expensive cocktails, the ones where you buy them at a liquor store, and they're like $25 for the jar. And then you're gonna eat the whole thing within a sitting. And they're so good. Luxardo cherries. I'm kind of proud of myself right now. Get a little bit of the barrel char too. Just a little bit. Some floral notes. I almost get a little bit of pear too, which kind of throws me off. Beautiful mouthfeel. With a long finish. You really get, I'm impressed because it's a 90 proofer. And not to say that a 90 proof can't have a long finish, but it's just almost my expectation is that I'm not gonna get that, that long Kentucky hug, and I'm really getting it. And I normally would expect that out of like a full proof or straight out the barrel, but just initial introduction to a 90 proofer, I don't expect that, especially a blend. Again, the layers on this are really also what's impressive. Again, and I'm gonna keep beating it for it being a 90 proof. Like the way it is layered is just so interesting. The oil, it's got a good strong oil going on the side too. The legs, I know you can't see it in the camera, but take my word for it. Maybe I can hold a piece of paper or something up here. You know what's crazy is that a lot of people, 2024 right now, see, journals. A lot of people were saying this previous year that the everyday sipping bourbons or whiskeys, like a lot of the big distilleries were really trying to push like the heavy allocated stuff and really trying to like make allocated items. From my understanding, this will be an everyday item, and it's almost like Buffalo Trace was just like a couple weeks too late. Because if this came out in 2023, I think a lot of people would change their mind on. Now you're not going to change your mind because a bunch of distillers all made allocated stuff. Anyways, but this is it's a damn good juice. For those that may be curious, sometimes when you do that and it flicks out, when you get it good, there we go. It's almost insulting to say this, but it's a good quality porch sipper. Like, I don't mean to say that's not in a negative way, but I just mean to say that I could drink that and not regret it in the sense that my mouth will be overwhelmed. The mouthfeel on it is very velvety, it's very nice, it's very elegant. And again, for a 90 proof, I'm insanely impressed because I don't even want to use the word smooth because I feel like that's disrespectful. It's a really good sipper. And actually, again, not my first bottle, but my girlfriend when we initially bought it and we tried it, she actually described it very well, in the sense that when you're getting a full proof, when you're getting a Stag, a 1792 full proof, when you're getting those high proof boys, those are almost give you like a good smack, you know? This fits Chris Stapleton. If you watched him perform, there's no fire, there's no fireworks, there's nothing crazy going on, right? It's him performing, just as we all watched during the Star Spangled Banner during the Super Bowl. It was him standing there with his guitar, a speaker, and that was it. And everybody was just like, wow, this is one of the best performances of all time for the Super Bowl. This fits him. This fits his types of performance. Hats off to this label, because it fits. For those of you who, I don't think it's towards the bourbon snobs and the bourbon connoisseurs, the ones that are out and like really hunting for the collecting items. But what I do think, it's definitely aimed, obviously from a business sense, towards his fans. But this is a great introductory bourbon. This is a great person. If you just enjoy having a good sip and you don't want to, maybe break into your high-end, and potentially overpriced, but your high-end collector items. If you don't want to break into those, this is a great whiskey to introduce someone to whiskey. This is a great whiskey for your everyday sipper. This is a really good bottle. Now, what I was told, and this is where the video could go longer than some people may want, but again, my journal, it's as if I was writing. From what I was told, Chris Stapleton is a huge fan of Buffalo Trace Distillery, and two of his favorite items are Eagle Rare and E.H. Taylor. This is a blend. So I'm really curious. It did say, let's go back to the back. It did say a completely unique combination of whiskeys from award-winning distilleries. So that's not to say that it's from Buffalo Trace. Award-winning distilleries could be anything. There's a lot. But his favorite, E.H. Taylor and Eagle Rare. So what I would like to do is we're gonna put E.H. Taylor small batch in the center. We're gonna put good old Eagle Rare, which is also 90 proof, over here. And let's see. Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor. Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor. All right, we got it. Travelers. I get, when I'm drinking it, I get almost the mouthfeel of an Eagle Rare. And I haven't had E.H. Taylor small batch in a while, but I want to say that nose together, those two, very, very similar. Now, as I was sipping it, I do feel like, yeah, nose is very similar. Wow, this one, I'm getting apple right now. This is not about Eagle Rare, though. This is about Travelers, the unofficial sponsor of Travelers Kitchen and Spirits with Travelers Whiskey. That's gonna be confusing. All right, back to Eagle Rare for a second. The way the liquid kind of coats your mouth, it's got a very similar mouthfeel to the Travelers, to the Eagle Rare. The E.H. Taylor, though, very similar noses. Very similar noses. So I would love to assume that Buffalo Trace took a little bit of that, made a little of that, and created a Traveler's experience. Eagle, E.H. Taylor. Someone let me know if I messed that up. Whew. Anyways, again, it's a great whiskey. Again, not a bourbon, it's a blended whiskey. And I don't want people to get confused and get yelled at in the comments of the whiskey communities. Somebody's gonna get mad about that. But this is a really good bottle, and I'm a huge advocate of no celebrity alcohols. And there's way too many of them. If you smell them cooking, that this is right. And it seems like there was a lot of effort that was put into this. This is a bottle that, from what I was told, will not be allocated. It will be an everyday bottle. So if you're trying to introduce someone to a bourbon, you know, you don't always have to. You can go for Buffalo Trace, obviously a great gateway bourbon. Gateway, introduction, same thing. It doesn't always, you know, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, that's always been a good go-to for people. Wild Turkey 101, always been a good go-to. Benchmark, always a good go-to. This one though, this one's gonna be in that. This is a great introductory whiskey to someone who's saying, hey, you know, you have an obnoxious wall in your office and I wanna get into it, what should I try? This would be, this is a good bottle. This is a good bottle. And like I said, it fits him. If you've ever watched his concerts, and like everybody did when you watched the Super Bowl, it's elegant, it's classy, this is who I am. Take me or leave me. But hopefully you'll be here for a good time. Anyways, I think I've exceeded probably 15 minutes. For those still watching, I appreciate it. This is just me and you sipping or eating in the future, talking about the product, enjoying it, and having a good time. So cheers to you, cheers to me, and if by chance we disagree, up yours, cheers to me. It's a damn good pour.